totally giving like Laura Ingalls or Pocahontas vibes today. I don't know which one it is. Hey, y'all, and welcome to today's video. So what I've got for you today is a weekend vlog, but it's a little bit different. What I did was I just have some clips from our weekend. It just so happens that this happened to be from our weekend. And I took some clips and I'm going to show those to you. I think I'll do a voiceover and talk to you about what we're doing. The majority of it is going to be Pawpaw's kitchen makeover and doing his tile backsplash. I started to point at this because what we did in Pawpaw's kitchen just so happens he picked out something that was very similar to what I did here in my kitchen. It's colored differently. It has more of beigey tones to it. But it also still has some gray in it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it looks really nice. If you've not seen part one of the kitchen makeover, where we painted his kitchen, his dining room, and his den, it's one big open area, I'll link that for you. You can go watch it. The tile looks beautiful with that paint color. And it also looks really nice with his cabinets. I mentioned it in that other video, I believe. I think there was a little clip where Pawpaw was talking about his cabinets. He built those cabinets. They are, pushing 50 years old, and they are gorgeous. And the paint color and the backsplash that we did looks so nice with them. We also put some of his decorations back up. He didn't want to change a whole lot as far as like the pictures and things. I think that's kind of sentimental for him. So he put all of those things back up. I got a few clips of some of those, and it looks nice. It still looks like Mama and Pawpaw's kitchen, but it just looks fresh and clean. It is peel and stick tile. You'll see that. We also learned some things through the process. I mean, I've used it before, but I feel like we still learned some stuff. We did a much larger space this time, so I feel like we learned some things, and I'm going to share all that with you. We'll go through that, and then I'm also going to include in this some of Justin's sermon from Sunday. Y'all tell me that you like to see that you enjoy it. I enjoy sharing it with you. And so I'm going to take a little clip from his sermon on Sunday, and I'm going to include that in this video as well. So it'll, be the DIY backsplash, but I'm also going to include that for you, which kind of makes it our weekend. If you're new, I'm Tiffany, and this is our small town life, and I like to share my old-fashioned heart and home with you, what it looks like living in a small town. We are here in Alabama. My husband Justin and I and our 5 kids live on a 1-acre homestead in a double-wide mobile home that we put out here, and we share that with you. We share day-to-day life with you, what life looks like for us, and I'd love to have you as part of our YouTube family. All right, let's get into it. We'll start with the backsplash in Pawpaw's kitchen. This is the tile that Pawpaw decided to go with, and he chose well. Like I mentioned, it matches pretty similar to that tile that I put in my kitchen behind my stove, but the color of this is a little bit different, and it looks beautiful. It looks really nice with that cookie dough paint color. We talked more about that in part 1, but I'm just showing you in different lighting right here how well it matches that color. We're trimming off the edge to give us a flat edge to start with. Now, let me tell you, had we gone right to left instead of left to right, we could have flipped the tile and they would have overlapped a little bit better. You'll be able to see in a minute what I'm talking about, and I'll explain that a little bit more in depth. But for now, we're going to clean this wall. I forgot to clean the wall. That's the only prep you have to do, is just to wipe it down really well. And then we can get started putting that first tile on. So here we are. You can see where that clean edge is, where we cut the extra off. That piece that I'm tucking right under the edge right there, we're going to come back and put some caulk along the edge of the counter. But that piece that I'm tucking in, if that had been on the top, there would have been extra white for the next piece to overlap. Instead, we actually had to cut that white off of our top piece so that we could line them up. If we had worked right to left and flipped this tile around, we would have had the extra white on the top and on the side for our pieces to overlap. And as we start putting these on, you'll be able to see a little bit better what I'm talking about. And because he did have that little bit of space between the counter and the wall, we were able to slide this tile in there, and then we'll come back with caulk and go along the edge of the counter. This is a 3D tile, and I'll link them down in the description box for you. It's a peel and stick 3D tile. Because it's 3D, when you take your hand and you're smoothing it out, sometimes you don't get those little white lines. We took a Sharpie and kind of went back in some of those lines where it looked like it needed to be pressed down a little bit better. And then you can see here those little tabs where you overlap, and we just kept on going, putting up this tile. It sticks really well. You can pull it off and adjust it a few times if you need to, but once it is stuck and you leave it there for a little bit, don't go back and try to move it, because then it's on, and it's on well. The ones that I've had behind my stove, even behind my stove where it's hot and gets heat, they have not budged. They have stayed on really, really well, and you can wipe them down. They work great. While I'm thinking about it, do y'all remember a while back, Papa told us that because we had one big fog in August, we would have one big storm this winter? He was right. Those old timers and the way they know these things always amazes me. Back to the tile, that raw edge that we had over there at the beginning, we're going to get peel and stick trim and put on the ends. This project turned out so well, if I do say so myself. It worked wonderfully. The tile sticks well. The finish is nice. I'm loving it. And we did all the way around his countertop. You'll see here over on the other side as well. We continued it all the way around. And then we put some of his things back. We put the stuff back in his china cabinet, put some of his artwork back on the walls. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's always been in Mama and Papa's house. And then those pictures on the bottom are some things Papa made.
To him for what he did to us, to go tell others about it.
That's right, amen.
We have a debt to those people.
Bless him, Lord.
What if you were there and they called you and said, this man has been found innocent, but he's on death row, but here's the pardon. Go give it to him. So let's stop this execution. Well, you take that pardon, you put it in your pocket, and that's a big deal. You say, well, I got to go give it to him. But then you remember you're supposed to pick up milk on the way home.
Bless.
You're supposed to do this at work tomorrow. And that pardon gets stuck in your pocket. You just kind of forget about it because of life. Right? You get going to school, your kids have sports, you got to go to this practice, you got to go to that practice, you got to do this at work, work comes along, you got all these responsibilities at work, and one day you sit down and you pick the newspaper up, and the man that you were supposed to deliver the pardon for had his execution carried out. You had a pardon for this man, but you got caught up in life by all the things that bother you, and you sat there and let that man die, and all you had to do was deliver the message, and he had been saved.
Yeah, right.
Bless him.
We have the pardon, people.
Yes.
We have the pardon that the world solely needs. It's written about in this book of life. We have a pardon for sin, and we don't find it important enough to deliver the message.
That's right. Bless him, Lord.
We have a debt to the law to do our job. So I'm not a preacher. I didn't say you had to preach. So I'm not a song director. I'm not a Sunday school teacher. I can't do this. I couldn't get up there behind the bookboard. If I got up there, I'd stammer and stutter and I'd say, do I sound any better than that? No, you don't have to be equipped. God will equip you, but you do have a job.
Bless
Yeah.
him, Lord.
Even if you never hold a position in a church, if you are saved, you are supposed to tell people about Jesus.
Amen.
Bless him.
Be a disciple and make disciples. That's the last thing he told us before he ascended. Go! He didn't say go be a preacher. He didn't say go be a Sunday school teacher. He said go be a deacon. Go hold a position in a church. He said go and tell them about me.
Yeah.
Yes. Bless him, Lord.
He didn't say go and make sure you get your theology degree. He didn't say go and make sure you got your doctorate. He didn't say go and make sure you're a deacon or go and make sure you're a song director. He didn't say go and make sure you do all this other stuff and then tell them about me. he said, go
Bless them, Lord.
and tell.
Yes.
You see, so if you are saved, you do have a job, and we do have a debt to tell people.
The layout of this video is a little different, I guess, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working on it and putting it together for you. I hope y'all enjoyed watching it. Don't forget, subscribe down below if you're not already. We sure would love to have you here as part of our family. And I'll see you in the next one. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you later. Bye, y'all. Tell him bye. Did y'all hear him? Fletcher said bye.